What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Watch Darius TV. I am back with another review, and this one is of Gen V, Season 1, Episode 8, Guardians of Godolkin. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, and share the video for all things Gen V. Okay, so episode is basically the season finale of the first season, and I want to say this episode was absolutely insane. I really liked the finale of it. A whole lot of twists and turns going on, like always. They were doing stuff I completely didn't even expect. Let's start with this review, okay? So the episode starts with Kate. She can hear everybody's thoughts, on her basically killing Dean Shetty and stuff like that. So she's going through a whole transformation this episode, doing stuff I never thought she would be able to do. The gang try to figure out what to do with Kate and says that she's a hero, and they're trying to figure out what to do with her. They clearly don't know what to do. She says that she's a hero. Sam agrees with her and sides with Kate. So this whole episode, they're just basically sort of working together. He's basically like the bronze, and she's the brains of the whole situation going on this episode. Marie and Emma basically tell Jordan that they can find some type of way to stop them too. They are basically probably the most powerful out of the team, so they're trying to figure out a way as to how they can put an end to whatever they're about to begin doing this episode. Andre is told that his dad basically has like brain scarring from his powers, so that's a side effect of his ability. Andre might have this also, so he has issues too going on where he can also develop more sort of scarring on his brain from his powers. I guess it's a side effect of using telekinesis. It's something going on with the brain, unfortunately. Like I said, everybody on the show has a side effect to their powers. Marie had to basically, cut her arm in order for her to use her powers. Emma had to basically puke in order to use her powers, so there's always some type of side effect to it. So Polarity can no longer basically use his powers anymore, and he passes his suit on to his son. He apologized to Andre and sort of just passes on the mantle while they're in a hospital as to, he wants his son to basically take on his spot. But Andre also wants to tell him that, these our powers are basically kind of like killing us. So there's that. I'm not really sure if Andre is going to be have a long history of being a hero anymore, but there's that. Actually, she makes her return, and she's looking for a new member of the Seven to basically set up as a distraction from Golden Boy offing himself and Newman her events at the rally with people turning against her. So he's trying to basically just set up something where it could be a complete distraction. And Andre's name is brought up as a possible next member of the Seven. They spend the episode trying to figure out who could they get to fill the new spot in the Seven, because right now on the TV show The Boys is only Homelander, A-Train, and the Deep, so they need basically about like 4 more people. So yeah, they're really trying to figure that out. So Kate brings Sam to the woods, and Sam basically sort of like punches through a guard's face, Omni-Man style. And Kate has the patients released. Everybody is just released from their cells, stuff like that. One patient was locked up for so long that he asked Kate if Gangnam Style was still a thing. And we already know that's so 2013, so he's been in there for quite a while. Sam sees a vision of Luke throughout this episode, and the first one he sees is he sees his brother Luke in his old cell. And Luke basically says to Sam that he knows that Sam doesn't want to do this, but Sam, his mental state is kind of not really working properly, is deteriorating. So Luke spends the episode trying his best to try to get Sam from, joining Kate. Sam tells Kate about Andy being experimented on, and tells about how he had bipolar and stuff like that. This makes Kate basically decide to really go forth with her agenda and tells the patients to sort of rally together so they can attack the school. And then in this episode, they play one of my favorite Rihanna songs, Desperado, while Rufus is sort of making some type of reaction video on his TikTok or whatever like that. He's one of the first people to meet one of the escaped patients from the woods. The first patient release ends up asking one of the teachers if they're a soup. They basically say they're like some type of human, I guess. And he just straight up just burns her face off. And then after that, just complete mayhem goes on for just the rest of the episode. Marie takes on like a leader role. So we can already tell that Marie would be her being the protagonist of the show. We can already tell that, she was going to basically be some type of leader of whatever her little team is that she was going to be. My personal opinion, I thought this episode that she was going to basically lead all her friends coming together to fight all of them, but it kind of didn't go the way I thought it would necessarily. I thought she was gonna have her be her leader of her own little like team, like Teen Titans, like I was saying. But she does decide to really work together to stop these rogue soups. So she takes on her leader role and has Emma and Jordan prepare the school for Kate's sort of rebellion going on. So one teacher is named Jeff. I don't remember this character, if he popped up earlier in the series. I don't remember, but I think he was like some type of teacher that was, or maybe a student that was pretending to, somebody that was undercover working for the Woods, basically. And they come in contact with, I believe this was Betsy from a few episodes ago that was in the woods. Well, I think she died. I don't remember, but basically it's this girl that has electricity powers, and he used some type of like frequency device to like turn it on, and it completely just blows her head up. So he was like working undercover, I guess, for a situation similar to this. I don't know, but that was a pretty smart move. The patients, like I said, they just start attacking the school, just attacking, seems to be almost everybody, just not even just human students, they just decide to just attack mindless drones, I'm assuming. I don't know what their plan was. I thought they were supposed to only be attacking humans, but it looked like they're attacking regular people also. So yeah, it's just complete mayhem goes on in this episode. So basically Jeff, the one that was undercover the whole time, I guess pretended to be a student or a teacher, I'm not sure what he was. He ends up getting mind controlled by Kate and decides to go live stream. So we'll get into that later. We find out that Ashley's meeting that Maverick is actually Translucent's son. I never would have thought that. Starlight also, back in the boys, like back in season 1, Starlight did tell Huey that that Translucent did have a son, which made Huey feel kind of bad about blowing Translucent up. So yeah. Kate makes Jeff eat like this like explosive device that he was using to, send a radar to the soup's heads to blow it up. Well, basically, she makes him eat it, and he goes on live stream and he ends up blowing himself up. Basically, I really didn't see Kate becoming a villain in the show. I really did not see that coming at all. This kind of came out of left field. I just would not have thought earlier in the I thought she was going to be like, I don't know, like just a love interest or something like that. I just didn't think that she would be willing to get her hands dirty and really like become this arch villain, basically. The attack on the school really it really gives like this. It's given like some type of pump it up kicks, run, hide, fight, 2003 elephant movie vibes when it comes down to them attacking the school. It's I don't know if that was kind of what they were going for, but it really gets that kind of vibe when it comes down to these students, just attacking the school and hurting the students and stuff like that. It really thinks of what it would be like if, people like that had powers. But man, I was, yeah, I didn't see all of this stuff coming. This was pretty wild, this episode. But a lot of twists and turns, like I said. A lot of stuff was going on I did not expect. Adam Bork, he returns. Like I said, he was from the boys. He went from being a big director to now directing college theater. He makes his return, and he has no idea what's going on. He's just directing in class, and Sam almost ends up choking him out, but Emma stops him. Sam and Emma, they argue on stage, and he says that she wants best what's for herself, and she says she risks everything for him, and he says she just wants people to like her, so she's just looking for validation from people, which I can kind of understand. I mean, Emma, she was kind of a no name, and then throughout the season she became a lot more popular, and she likes it, and he just calls her out on that. Now she says she isn't a hero. He spends most of the season talking about how she's a hero and all stuff like that, and now he's taking that validation away that made her feel good. Now he's taking it away now. So I really thought that they were going to be like some type of superhero version of, like, I don't know, Belle and Edward or something like that. But I really did not see that their relationship was going to end this way. It almost seems like, I guess, Emma's, ironically enough, it seemed like her first, like, I guess, real love ends up sort of becoming like her arch nemesis. I didn't really see anything like that happening. She, the guy that she really falls in love with, that she really likes, ends up possibly going to be her new antagonist, her first real enemy as a hero. So I would have never saw that happening. Also, she's able to use her powers in this episode without having to puke. So that's kind of a power upgrade now. She can just, shrink without having to puke. So I'm assuming maybe she can also grow without having to stuff her face. That's pretty good. So Kate tells Andre she freed the woods and they can be together now. He's talking to her over the phone, and Sam has to deal with the ghost of Luke telling him to do the right thing while Kate is basically trying to control him. And Sam decides to just forget about what Ghost Luke is saying and just listen to what Kate is saying. So she uses him as an attack dog and tells him to just feel nothing at all. So she's just using him to just attack whoever she clearly needs to attack. Just using him as a complete like dog in this episode. I had a feeling this was what they were going to do. Like I said in the previous episode, she was going to use him like basically just like complete muscle essentially. Her own personal attack dog. And by the way, throughout this episode, her eyes get just straight up just bloodshot red. It's speaking of the show Invincible, which I'll be doing a review on. It looks like kind of like how Omni-Man's eyes look in the last season. It's just completely just blood red. Where now she's truly looking like a villain, almost like Carrie or something like that. She's looking really villainous now, I would say. Marie locks the school down from Dean Shetty's office, so now everything is completely shut down, right? The radar frequency, it sort of goes off again, and it's completely used to slow everybody down. This loud radar-y noise, kind of similar to like X2, X-Men United scene where, Stryker had that thing going on with Cerebro where all the mutants were hearing it and stuff like that. That's what this whole thing is, some type of radar system that's like really screwing with the heads of the soups of the school to slow these crazy soups down. The soup patient there's one of the rogue soups has super scream, so he lets out his like shockwave, and that completely like stops the radar. And then Ashley ends up deciding to have somebody call Homelander to clean up all this mess. And she has it where whoever kills this rogue soup is going to be able to be in the 7. That's her new plan now, is just to be able to bribe them. Like whoever can just stop these people, you're going to get in the 7. So that's that. Ashley tells Marie she will get her sister back if she can end up stopping the soup. So Ashley's getting super desperate. She's saying, hey, yo, look, whoever can stop this stuff, please just do it. You can be a part of 7. I don't even care. So, a helicopter comes and Kate tells one of the soups, she like mind controls one of them to fly and just like take it out. But Andre uses powers to save whoever was in there and ends up hurting his brain. So now his powers is basically going to seem like it just doesn't work anymore now, because his brain is going to start to scramble up. So I don't know what they're going to do from him from this point forward. Is he going to be able to still use his powers or not? I don't know. Andre and Maria, they end up confronting Kate, who is basically weak from just controlling so many minds. And like I said, her eyes are just getting more and more bloodshot red. Think of like Deacon Frost in the movie Blade. Like her eyes about as red as him now. He's looking really she's looking really scary, like a true villain now. Maria tells Kate that Ashley wants her to stop Kate, but Maria doesn't want to. Kate decides to sick Maverick on Marie, and she has to fight this guy while he's invisible. Andre ends up going after Kate, and Maria and Maverick, they face off. Maria, instead of doing what Butcher does, spitting his own blood into his hand and getting on translucent, she decides to use her blood location powers that she learned from Newman to locate wherever Maverick is and just completely knock him out. So there's that. That was a pretty smart move, really effective. This type of bloodbending power is really dope. I never would have thought of giving a character like this that type of power. I just never would have thought. It's not really the most glamorous looking thing, especially with her being a girl and her being a protagonist. This almost seemed like a power for like a villain to something something as icky as blood. I would have never thought that they would give the protagonist of a superhero show that type of power. But Andre tells Kate they can figure out what's going on. He's trying to calm her down. She offers her hand, but he doesn't really trust it because he knows that she can most likely scramble his brain up. So she decides to just completely have Sam attack Andre, and they face off. And Andre is kind of getting the upper hand because his super strength is really powerful. So he ends up levitating like some type of taser to zap Sam till he goes to sleep. Andre also passes out because his powers are wearing him out. Plus, Sam was really whooping his butt. So there's that. Marie uses her bloodbending power to like attack one of the soups who had like some type of teleporting power. She uses her bloodbending powers to like take him out. I don't know why was he running like a gorilla. I don't know what was up with that, but she was able to stop him before he ends up attacking Ashley and all the other subordinates or whoever those people were. Kate tries to touch Jordan to control him, but Maria ends up using her powers to explode his hand, kind of similar to how she exploded Rufus's his junk. And there's that, so that kind of limits her power. Of course, she can use her other hand, but now she's not going to be as strong as she used to. She can control, people with both hands. Now she has to walk around with one hand now trying to control people. So, wow, I didn't think she was going to get her hand blown off. I honestly saw sort of previews of this episode, and I thought Homelander was going to come and zap her hand off. I was clearly wrong. Speaking of Homelander, he finally makes his introduction into this episode, and he does his superhero landing with the weird, strange, distorted music playing in the background. It doesn't even sound remotely heroic. It sounds weird and just distorted, and just I don't know what the heck they were doing, but he does that. He comes down, and Maria sees him and says, hey sir," and he just completely cuts her off and asks what kind of animal is she, which is kind of wild because Homelander is an animal himself, basically. And asks her, does she like to attack her own kind? Kind of similar to how he asked A-Train when he, completely took out Blue Hawk. And then he just zaps her. I did not see this coming. I seriously thought that Homelander was going to come and wipe out all the rogue soups. I forgot that he's all pro soups. So what was I thinking that he would actually come and stop this? He just completely zaps her. Somehow the news decides to say that Emma, Marie, Andre, and Jordan were like responsible for the attacks at the school, and Kate and Sam were the heroes. Homelander was able to somehow spin that around. Like I said, I did not see that coming at all. Like I said, I thought Homelander was going to stop all that, but clearly he didn't. He completely changed the whole narrative to fit his agenda. And Marie wakes up in a hospital with the gang. They're all looking up, like trying to figure out where they're at. I personally think it's like some weird new location in the woods, and it's all four of them. It's Marie, it's Andre, it's Jordan, and it's Emma. Somehow they got Emma. I don't know why would they think Emma wasn't even doing nothing, but they got her too. And it's just like they're sort of in like what I feel like is a new version of the woods. I don't know if they're students at the school no more. I have no clue. They were just taken up someplace, and there's that. I don't know. Somehow Homeland was able to spin this around, but yeah. Also, before the episode ends, we see Butcher has made his return, and I think he finds the woods, I believe. So yeah, and he ends up saying his typical catchphrase, calling him the C word, and that's it. So this episode was mad dope. A lot of stuff went on. One crazy way to end the season. I really don't even know what's going to happen now. I can't even think of a room. I didn't even know this was going to happen. I really had no idea they were going this way. I really don't even know. It's I don't know. My personal theory is they're gonna have to find some way to get out of wherever building they're at, and I'm assuming that Kate and Sam are gonna become the heroes, I guess, which I never would have thought. Maybe he's gonna be able to enjoy life on campus now. Looking at Sam is gonna be able to. Maybe he might be the new version of his brother now. Might be the big man on campus. Maybe they might possibly hook up. I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna be able to spin that. They can probably be able to forget Kate being the villain because people may not remember that she was mind controlling them, so she might be able to pull that. Sam, he'll be the new big guy on campus, I'm assuming, and somehow they're going to have to find some way to get out of being villains. This is kind of similar to the way I think season 2 of The Boys went, where the boys were looked at as being like criminals and had to go into hiding in season 2. So they'll have to find some way to flip the script, which I believe they will do next season, but I just don't know how. They didn't lost everything. They're no longer students, so I don't know how that's gonna go. But I gotta say I really like the show Gen V. I don't really like it as much as The Boys, but it's a pretty entertaining show. Like I said, this show is basically just like a rated R version of Sky High. You know, that Disney movie Sky High. It's like a rated R version of that. It's a cool show. I like the characters. The powers are pretty interesting. They got powers I never heard of before. I never seen. I personally think Jordan would be cooler if she just shapeshift instead of having a whole shapeshifting between a boy and a girl. I'd rather her just be a full on shapeshifter. I thought that would be cooler. But different ways of showing how people have powers. Emma can shapeshift, but she had to puke first, so that was a pretty interesting twist on the power. But I just see what other new powers they might have. And I feel like it's really fitting for the new generation. Also, they can have a show that can not have to be pandering, but also can be fitting for a younger generation demographic or something like that. I would say it doesn't have to feel, panderish or anything like that. But yeah, I gotta say, I really like this show. I'm definitely going to check out next season 2 in 2024. The same goes for The Boys season 4 coming out. And yeah, if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, share the video. I'll be doing a review of season 2 of Gen V coming in 2024. And thanks for watching my video.